Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 6 of the Worldwide Wrestling Exhibition Series Journeyman's Cup Tournament. My name is Nathan Paletta. I'm the designer and publisher of the Worldwide Wrestling role-playing game. This is our first episode that I can show you the thing itself. Dun, dun, dun. Finally, at long last, the publication process has kind of run its course, and I have books and PDFs and posters and shirts and all that good stuff. Um, Thank you again very much to my Kickstarter backers who, for the majority of them, have received the book by now. Feedback has been really good. People have been playing the game, telling me that they've been playing the game, which is really nice and of them. There's some actual play reports that people have been putting up on their blogs and social media. When I see them, I try to link them at the Google Plus community for the game. Yeah, it's been awesome. So this has officially transitioned from a promotional venture all the way over to we're just playing this game and having a good time. So thank you for joining us. As I said, it is the 6th episode of this bracketed tournament concept. We are on our way to crowning a champion. I swear, we have been expanding with our cast and our storylines, and we're going to start contracting at this point and try and get the final phase of this stuff all rolling. We have a total roster of about 8 characters, with 3 to 5 of them able to appear on any given episode. Tonight we have 3, so we're probably going to have a little shorter episode than usual. We may have a couple guest stars drop in later in the evening. So look out for that. The highlights. We are concerned with the Journeyman's Cup tournament. The winner of the Journeyman's Cup, in addition to being kind of anointed, kind of the up-and-comer next big thing, also can challenge any of the current title holders for their title by kind of turning in the cup and issuing a challenge. They can also be challenged for the cup over the course of the year. So it's a storyline generator in its own right. So we're going to find out who wins it. Yeah, so on the last episode, we saw the debut of Escorpion, the technician, who defeated the enormous Tiny Nate Turner, but did manage to semi-accidentally injure him in the process, so showcasing his kind of vicious nature of this new competitor. We had the return of the Reaper and a big surge in the Graveyard faction and its continuing feud with Professor Atomo and his nerds, which culminated in a triple threat cage match, kind of engineered by Scythe, Reaper's right-hand man, pitting Professor Atamo against the two of them in a steel cage, and Scythe actually ended up winning due to Escorpion's interference. So that was a fantastically fun match to play with some great commentary. I actually really recommend that you go back to episode 5, about an hour and a half in, if you just want to check that out. The tournament standings, still in the tournament are Scythe, possibly Reaper if the Graveyard decides to change something up, Joey Crack, who we have with us tonight, Bolt Bradshaw, the High Flyer, who we will not have with us tonight, unfortunately, and Sarah Aurora, a non-player wrestler, another high flyer that we haven't seen yet, but hopefully will soon. So that's the recap. That's all the boring stuff. We are going to get started with this episode of Worldwide Wrestling. And our show tonight, well, we'll go ahead and introduce our characters. We'll just go through, starting with Professor Atamo over here, just to give us the quick intro recap of your character and your deal.
Sure. I'm Jason Cox. I'm playing Professor Atamo, the headmaster of heavyweights, the maestro of musculature, the atomic academic. I have to use the full title. And he is the veteran playbook. He is a face character, although he's a little bit self-obsessed and a bit of a blowhard. And I think that about sums it up. currently, for this group, I have the most audience. But I don't think that's going to last.
We shall see. Joey Crack, let's tell us about him.
Alright, I'm Joe Zantek. I'm playing Joey Crack. He's the Golden Boy playbook. He's a classic, cheating, underhanded, nefarious, typical bad guy. He's as arrogant as Professor Atamo, and likes to rub other people and rub their faces in how much inferior they are.
Excellent. And speaking of rubbing people's faces in inferiority, Escorpion joins us again. Peter, if you could tell us about him.
Hi there, I'm Peter B, and I am playing Escorpion, a luchador-inspired technician who's all about punching you in the face again, and then making you tap out. He's supposedly a babyface, but he's a bit of an ass.
He's walking that line for sure.
Yeah, I made him a tweener.
Very good. Sorry, looking at thing. Okay, so Professor Atamo, your for audience, make an overmove.
Okie dokie.
So cool.
And so that's a pretty good roll.
Yes, I believe you.
And it's roll plus look, and I have a look of +1. So I'm going to gain 1 momentum on that, I think. So yeah, I gain 1 momentum. And I get to pick 2 things. Bloop.
And so again, these are you can go ahead and start off the show with one of these things, or you can kind of save them till later in the show. But you do go ahead and pick your option now.
Yeah, let me have a look here real quick. Demand to be granted any match you want. Call out anyone on the roster to explain themselves. Gain +1 momentum. So, if I can demand any match I want, does that include a stipulation, or is it just against one person?
You can demand any match you want. I might grant it not with everything you want in it.
Fair enough. Coming for you, Crack!
Yeah, depending on how things go. But yeah, I mean, the baseline is definitely like a match with a person, and then if you wanted, some kind of big crazy stipulation match, I'd say once the match is made, then you'd have to go ahead and do something to go ahead and add a stipulation to the match, right? Like out of another promo or something like that.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and demand a match with Joey Crack, because he's been talking a lot of smack, and needs to be shut down a little bit. And I do so love my momentum.
I think
you have an older sheet, because that actually did update. And so you gain 2 momentum just from being over instead of the 1.
Okay.
So, just so you know.
All right. So I would have.
You don't have.
If you start with 4 audience, you start with 2 momentum, and then you can choose to gain additional 1.
Right. If you hit on the roll.
All right. So let me make sure I've got it clear. I started with 2.
And that's it.
All right.
And unless you choose to gain another one by picking that as one of your options.
So I don't get the +1 for rolling a 10?
Well, that's a choice that you get. But when you get a 10...
that changed. Yeah. The language is just, if you have +4 audience,
That's fine.
have 2 momentum.
I'm good with the 3 momentum, and I'm demanding a match with Joey.
Great.
Suck it.
And here I thought he was going to call me out and ask why I got involved in the triple threat match last week.
No, I was getting beat down pretty hard, and I just took a chair to the head.
Yeah, you saved him by ending that match.
As a matter of fact,
He
I
lost,
guess I did,
but
actually.
he probably was going to lose anyway.
yeah, Atamo is actually still injured, even though I can get him in advance. I'm
That's
keeping
right.
him, so he's going to have his arm in a sling.
Okay, nice. Have you spent that advance or?
I am going to go ahead and spend it to get +1 real.
Okay.
A lot of the other veteran moves are real moves, and it's hard to suck up that -1 forever.
Nice. Cool. So you could heal that, erase that injury check if you want, but you don't
I'm
have
not
to.
going to.
Right. Because you're working the system.
Well, I just got it.
And fantastic. So for the record, for the veteran, when you're injured, you can withdraw out of a match just at will without any kind of repercussion. But if you don't, you gain a momentum while you compete. So, yeah. Cool. Is there any other pre-show business? I don't think so, because you're the only one who's going to make that over move. Cool.
We are... Well, how much audience does Escorpion have? Because that would be the only other thing to check.
Oh, yeah. I don't think you... Yeah, what's your audience at, Peter?
1.
1, yeah.
Yeah, okay, we're fine.
And Joe's at 2? I can't see
3.
the whole thing. 3.
They don't have audience or look.
Yeah.
They're just good.
You gotta take time to... You gotta figure out how to get those things. Okay, cool. So, let's see. Okay. So the show starts. Opening roll, opening credits, highlights, etc. Finishing with a little recap of the crazy triple threat cage match from last week. And we're coming to you live tonight from Ann Arbor, Michigan, from the Chrysler Center, or possibly the Chrysler Center. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but basically a basketball arena in Ann Arbor. So we're coming to you live tonight from Ann Arbor, Michigan. We have as always, we have a fantastic show for you people tonight. We're going to see another stage in the Journeyman's Cup tournament, as well as find out exactly how Professor Atomo and the nerds are going to recover from just the savage beating that wrestling science received at the hands of the graveyard. And in fact, we're going to go backstage with that our top story right now. Sorry, I'm getting an echo. Is someone not muted? I'm not sure if it's Peter or Joe. Check. Better. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to go backstage. And this is going to be a interview segment with Professor Atamo. What state is your world in backstage? Are we back in that kind of workshop thing that we saw last week, or are things in disarray, or are you just in in the training room with your arm in the sling? Which way did you want to look?
I think Atamo is because it's an interview. He's back in his tweed.
Okay.
But his arm is in a sling, and because it's an interview, he'll have his high back, comfy armchair. Mm-hmm. And there's just a curtain behind them, so it covers up the fact that it's just crap. Right. And he's got another chair set up for presumably Tina Tahini if she's doing the interview.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. So Tina. So yeah, you're in like the director's chairs, kind of, out to the camera. Cheating out, if you will. And she takes it. She's like, "Yes, I'm here backstage with the Dean of Wrestling Science himself, Professor Atamo, and I've got to say the Worldwide Wrestling Universe was a little let down at your performance in the cage against Scythe and Reaper. It seems like the Graveyard has really gotten your number, and really the question that I have, I'm sure I speak for everyone here, is why did you lose to the graveyard? Is science just not strong enough anymore?
Don't be ridiculous, Tina. You know and I know that science is eternal. Wrestling science is the most eternal. It's been around forever. It will persist. Admittedly, things were difficult. The loss last week, it's something to think about. But I want you to keep some things in mind. At no point did I cower. At no point did I shirk back from being locked in a cage. I wasn't afraid of the cage. At no point did I hide from the fact that I was fighting an incarnation of demonic strength and his ghoulish lackey, who have amazing skills on their own. Not even when I took a vicious blow to the cranium and I fell 30 feet to the mat. None of that inspired fear in me. I know wrestling science can persist without the professor. I know that their demonic grip on our Federation must fail. I'll tell you, Tina, there was actually only one point where I was afraid. The Reaper attempted to use his dark powers to take away my knowledge of wrestling science. They wouldn't have served Scythe any good. He's too impetuous. But I realized, had I lost them, I would have failed. I was not afraid of the Reaper. I was not afraid of Scythe, the fall, the cage. I was afraid that I had failed as a teacher. I've had numerous students here, numerous, that have learned from me, have tried to aspire to heights of wrestling science, but they have sadly all been disappointments. And I admit, in weakness, I have let my responsibilities slide. So I am now looking for an heir. But it's difficult. Escorpion, he came to my rescue, but he's an unknown quantity. Brainburg is intelligent, but lacks follow-through, lacks verve. Bolt has his own battles to fight. And Joey Crack. It's often said I wrote the book on wrestling. I have such a book recent here. It says, Joey Crack is one of the most arrogant and underhanded wrestlers around. He will use every advantage possible on the mic or in the ring to cheat his way to victory. Joey needs to learn what it is to earn a victory instead of to just take them. He missed all the most important lessons. He had ability. He had physicality. He lacks substance. Which is why tonight, I'm calling in the old favors. Tonight, even with this bum arm, I can take down that upstart. Tonight, Joey Crack will be reminded what wrestling science really is.
Awesome. And so she's just kind of she's looking at you and nodding. You know, like very, you know, very playing up her learning at your instructional techniques of talking about wrestling, etc. And then she has her little earpiece, right? And she's like, "Well, Professor, no, I'm sure our audience is certainly going to be excited to see you take on Joey Crack, but I'm being told that you have a match. You have a match right now. Are you ready to compete?"
I believe I've said it before. Unbutton, unbutton, unbutton. I am always ready to compete. Singlet underneath.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. Cool. So I think we're going to cut that there. So that's certainly cutting a promo, or if you're, I think that's also making the face move. If you want to, I can see you clearly adding a stipulation to your Joey Crack match, or gaining a heat with him out of that, if you wanted to do that.
It's a high cost of 2 momentum.
It is true. Yeah, I'm just saying because it was very like encapsulating what you believe and stuff, or it's just cutting a promo, whichever you.
That's a tough choice. I think I'm going to go for now with cutting a promo because I like to build up the momentum, so we'll do that.
You figured out how this game works.
And that'll give me a 10 on that.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez. Let me get all my bad rolls out of the way.
+1 look, baby. I recommend it.
I got +2.
Oh, man, that sucks.
Doesn't help when you roll 1-1.
Well, okay. So I may be looking at an old sheet again.
So for -2.
So
you have you got a 10, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you gain 1 momentum and pick 1 from the 7 to 9 list.
Yeah, I've also got the book, of course.
Well,
from what I'm reading, I can actually I can take 1 momentum and I can add a stipulation to the match.
Oh yeah, so that makes more sense. Well, since you rolled well, yeah.
Yeah.
That gets you the babyface thing anyway.
Yeah. I could also actually take a heat. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a heat with Crack because I think it's earned.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go ahead and add a stipulation. I would prefer
you pick one of those are all on the 7 to 9. Those are both on the 7 to 9 list.
Oh, I see. So I get 1 momentum.
You get 1 momentum from rolling the 10, and then you get the 7 to 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take the heat instead.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Heat it is.
Awesome.
Bring it.
So as you're,
currently I have a 0.
So you're heading out to the ring, and on camera they cut to a commercial. So we're gonna have a quick backstage off-camera scene with Joey Crack. And so you're just backstage, kind of standing in the hallway, talking to Craig, C. Colton Craig, who is the on-screen general manager and backstage producer, in charge booker with Tina Tahini. And so to recap for everyone, you got in trouble, legit trouble, from your last match because you took out Travis Millmaker's knees when you were specifically told to leave the knees alone, if I recall correctly.
Yep.
And we had determined that there's definitely going to be a punitive match coming out of that. So, Craig, you're talking to Craig. He's just like casual, just like leaning against the wall, casual, like, hey, we're just a couple of guys talking. But he's looking like right at you, like, give me all of your attention right now. Like, Joey. So you know how we already figured out your match with the new guy, with Scorpion tonight, right? It's gonna be, I know Tina talked to you about it. Well, I was just talking to the professor, and he's not messing around. He wants you. He wants you pretty bad. So I know you're a little. Sometimes you can be a little weird about this kind of stuff, but I think you're going to be pulling double duty tonight.
I get it. It's fair is fair. We gotta help the new guy out, and we gotta let Atamo, get his little bottle. But it'll be good. We've been building up this little rivalry between me and him, so that will be good for the business,
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Yeah, we're gonna keep your spot in the tournament. That's all fine, but this you're gonna have to go ahead and pace yourself because you're gonna have that second match, and that one's gonna need to. I mean, you know that I always think you're great,
Mm-hmm.
but you're going to need to like really step it up and make sure these are both good matches tonight. All right?
Yeah. Totally.
So, whatever preparation you need to do, go ice those knees or whatever. I don't know. I don't really care. But that's what's on your plate. Cool. So, on camera, we're gonna cut back, and Professor Atomo, you're coming into the ring, and your scheduled match tonight is against Bash Hammer, who is a kind of truck stop kind of ish trash can of a man, basically, who's been kicking around for a long time and kind of does these kinds of matches pretty on the regular. We're not. He didn't get entrance music, like we're gonna go. We cut back with your entrance with any nerds you want to have around with you. So this is more of a enhancement situation to get a little bit of your heat back. It's pretty clear. So yeah, what's your nerd situation coming into the ring, and is there anything else you want out of this?
I think the nerd situation is that he has a few with him just because he's got the sling, so he kind of takes it off and winces it and passes it to one. He's like, I'm all right. And then he holds out a hand, and another one passes him a flag, which he unfurls, and then he holds it up over his head while he and three nerds walk to the ring. And it's the University of Michigan flag. So he's going for the cheap pop.
Getting that cheap heat, yeah.
So he's getting the cheap heat for the college town.
Mm-hmm.
Waving to the crowd as he does, and then he passes it off and rubs on the arm a little bit, and then climbs into the ring.
Awesome. So yeah, get your cheap pop there.
All right.
And yeah, you get into the ring. You hand off the flag, and Bash has a microphone, and he's just like, it's like, you think you're so smart, you think you're so tough. Well, I don't hold with a lot of this book learning, and just throws the microphone out of the ring, and then just runs at you with just like a big shoulder tackle to get the match started.
So as the match starts, I'm actually going to get two more momentum. One
Yes.
for veteran instincts and one for the injury.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Momentum.
Am I only an actor today?
This match. Working with a bum arm.
Roll a 2.
Because it's all we really want to see. Joe, you're the announcer for this.
All right.
You gonna be
You
Jesse?
want Scorpion to be the playbook?
I don't get to help.
Yeah, you both can. You guys are both can both be at the table.
Body and Alan out. Let's go.
Alan.
They're back.
Quite
The warm up.
Do you think the professor can handle it after last week's disaster?
It's unknown exactly what condition the professor is in, but knowing the strict regimen he always adheres to, it is going to remain a quality show of workmanship here.
I don't know how much workmanship we'll get out of Bash Hammer. That man is one tough son of a bitch.
And
He's a one-note cookie, that's for sure.
you say that he's just rammed his shoulder into Atomo's gut and shoved you back against the turnbuckle, and just doing the like short, the little short shoulder block ram like into the corner 2 or 3 times, which is then turning it over to you, Jason, for how you want to push out of this situation.
All right. So he's doing that, and then he pulls back for kind of an overextended big final thing, and when he pulls back, the professor grabs onto the ropes and brings his feet and kicks him back so that he has a little breathing room. And then as he stumbles back, he goes for a textbook baseball slide to bring the big man's feet down and drop him hard.
Right. So he's, to get the mental picture clear, he's shorter than you, but he probably weighs as much as you.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool.
Trash can.
Yeah, you just go for the... Is this, do you want to have that slide lead into something else, or is this the, make you get him off his feet?
I think that's the move to get him off his feet there. It's not a big move, but I feel like it's where the break in the action is.
Yeah. All right. So it's plus work, I would say, for your wrestling move.
Classic and simple. Get the big man off of his base and onto the mat where all the moves can be administered in a classic chain.
I may not like the professor, but nobody can deny the actual experience that he has underneath his belt. His oversized belt.
You're a big jerk.
All right. So what's that, a 7 to 9?
Well, that is a 6, which plus 2 puts me at 8. But if... I'm making sure my sheet's actually right here.
It is this one hasn't changed, so it's retain control in transition or give me control back and gain a momentum.
Well, but if I kick it up to a 10, I get plus 2 momentum and I maintain control, right?
Yes. Yeah, you can go ahead and spend to get it.
Yeah. Which I'll do, and then plus 2 momentum actually puts me back in the same place.
Right. Spend 2 to get to.
Yeah.
You don't want to gain a heat with Bash Hammer? Come on.
The heat.
I'm just here to show off, man. All right. So
no, that's all right.
All right. So he drops Bash Hammer, and then
he's rolling. He's grabbed his knee. He's rolling around and cursing with it, holding onto his knee where he took him out with the baseball slide.
Classic shot to the knee. Great underhanded move. The professor's learning something.
And this is a squash match. You can go ahead and take it home whenever you want. If you want to do some more stuff to him, great. If not,
no. I think what we'll do is actually, the professor is they have some back and forth, and we'll just fast forward it to the end. But instead of finishing with the Atomo bomb because his arm's not great, the professor is going to actually put him into the Atomo equation.
The Atamo equation.
Make that sucker tap out.
So you universal move?
What's that?
The universal chain? One that was on the Google Plus.
Oh no! This is some kind of submission maneuver. I don't think you've told us about it yet.
The back and forth
is it's on the character sheet. It's an Olympic slam into a cross-leg SDF.
Oh.
So
that's
back and forth would be the universal. That's what I was asking.
Oh, I see. Yeah, the probably. So yeah, just like the into Irish whip into the ropes, jump over, leapfrog, all that business. Into this finisher. The STF generally you need both hands for that. Are you able to do it one-handed, or do you push through the pain to get both hands around his face?
Yeah, it's the Atomo bomb is an extended power bomb, so he actually has to get people up and get more strength into it. So that's
this you just need to put your hand in front of his face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like the injury is not enough to stop him from doing that. So.
Mm-hmm. All right, so cool. You got him in the middle of the ring. Go ahead and roll for your finisher.
He's got that atomic equation locked in. He's wrenching as hard as he possibly can.
And there's going to go some of my momentum.
The announcer wants to put you over, but he doesn't have to. If you want him to fail.
Joe had announced this time. It's his choice.
Yeah, well, I'll bump you up to the 7.
Aw, you're so sweet.
Well, I'm only being able to announce the one match, so I gotta use it.
That's true. You're in all the other matches. Cool.
The professor's having trouble, but he's got that arm locked. He's only got the one good arm, so he's having trouble keeping him locked in. Oh, Bash is almost at the ropes, but no!
Pushing
Yeah,
through,
right before getting to the
always
ropes,
making sure of the purity of style, the essence of wrestling.
So what's the 7 to 9 on your finisher? Oh, you're muted.
Yep. I was just saying, I'm probably muted, aren't I? So, oh, I'm looking on the wrong sheet. Ugh. Okay. Finishing moves, 7 to 9. They make you work for it. Choose, use your veteran skills and force a win and gain +1 heat, or you'll let them look strong in defeat and they gain +1 audience. I had actually commented about this slightly online, which is that I feel like a big role for the veteran is pushing other people up. So I think what he does is he lets Bash get +1 audience, and Bash has a few more shirts created.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great. I'll make a note of it. Yeah, so he, there's like a moment of like sympathy when he like almost gets to the ropes, right?
Yep.
But at the end, he does have to tap out. So as you rise to, I apologize if my crazy dog howl is coming over the mic here. So as you rise, as the ref rises, raises your hand, winner of this match by submission, Professor Atamo. Suddenly, there's like a bird screech coming over the PA that kind of transitions into this cacophony of howls and like animal sounds and weird like slithering sounds, all kinds of animalistic, naturey weirdness. And the lights start kind of flickering and then take on like a greenish cast. And the crowd kind of goes silent. And up at the top of the ramp enters a man. His outfit is pretty much all of this kind of faux reptilian scale kind of finish. Not like snakeskin, but like a horror movie monster kind of thing. And standing just behind him and to one side is a smaller man in a lab coat carrying a belt over his shoulder. For this is Dr. Maro, who is the current Regional Athletic Division champion, or RAD champion, if you will. But he's of such a nature that he has an assistant, a lab assistant, who carries his belt for him because he doesn't need to wear it all the time, right? And he stops at the entrance, up at the top of the ramp, and he takes a mic. And Professor Atamo, finally, you've been brought down to the low levels that I knew you would eventually find. I've been watching you since your return to the Worldwide Wrestling Federation. I've been watching you as you've failed, and failed again, the Journeyman's Cup, at trying to defeat the Graveyard. And now finally my time has come. You may not remember me, but I remember you. He starts walking down the ramp, coming up to the ring. And he has like a kind of like a cowl kind of thing. It's not really a mask, but it is kind of shadowing his face. And he comes up to the ring and then pulls it back, and it takes you a minute because you haven't seen him for a long time, but you recognize Shark Boy from from back when you first started wrestling. And he's just glaring daggers at you in the ring.
Shark Boy or Shark Man?
Was he Shark Man? I don't remember.
Shark Man was the other one.
Oh, Shark
Yeah.
Man. Shark Boy's an actual wrestler.
Yeah,
Shark Man.
Shark Man.
Yeah.
All right.
Shark Boy is also the inspiration for my D&D character.
The deep sea dragon.
All right. So are we looking at a response here?
He's looking at you. Yeah, what's your response? His unexpected return and calling out.
I knew once your name was evoked, you would come. I knew once Bolt put it out there in the atmosphere, you would smell it like blood in the water, like you always have. Do you think that for one moment I wouldn't be ready? You've been watching me. Professor pulls out a pipe.
Ew. Where?
You always be prepared. You've been watching me, you say. You think you're ready to show me if you've learned anything since our last match? Since those last Titanic bouts? I sincerely doubt it.
He throws up his hand. And then he looks over and there's one of your nerds.
Yep.
And he looks, he makes eye contact and holds it for an uncomfortably long time. And like does this. And the nerd walks up to him slowly. He does this. And the nerd goes down to his knees and then he suddenly with the quickness of a striking serpent executes the mutation. Is this snapmare flip over your nerd's head, and when the nerd pops back up, he's wearing a snake mask. And then his eyes roll back in his head, and he falls down. Whereas gets up, and he's like, "I've learned more than you'll ever know, old man. You'll see me when you least expect me." And he turns and starts going back up the ramp.
I think Atomo, being the face that he is, he's going to have to immediately attend to his nerd. But as he's walking off, he's giving him the kind of fierce and vaguely pensive.
Right. I am concerned about this situation face.
I don't know about you, Alan, but I think Atamo has bitten off more than he can chew taking on Dr. Maro.
This blast from the past could actually be the one thing to make Atomo doubt himself.
Well, I don't know. After last week and what the Reaper put him through, I think he's got a lot of doubt on his mind.
If nothing else, he certainly has a lot on his plate before him.
All right, and we're going to cut there. Cool.
Glad I didn't bring in Sharkman as an enforcer or something. I like this much better.
Good, yeah. It's like I need to get. I also need more stuff going on around you guys. We need more stuff for Professor Atomo to be concerned about. No, it's good. Okay, we are going to go backstage, and
Scorpion wanted a promo, right?
yeah. No, we're going to go to Scorpion. I was just thinking if there was something clever I wanted to do, but I forgot it already. Yeah, so we're going to go backstage. It's going to be yeah, so we're just going to go backstage to Tina Tahini with Scorpion as he's emerging out of the locker room, with his, all his wrestling gear suited up, and yeah, so you come out and maybe you're like turning to head down the hallway, and she like runs up behind you, taps you on the shoulder, and as you turn around, she's just going, Escorpion, we just you you must have seen Professor what Professor Thomas said about the about his match with the Graveyard, but the other big question that everyone has is, why did you get involved? I mean, you're new to Worldwide Wrestling, and frankly, there are a lot of people out there who think that you just don't have the chops to try and insert yourself into that caliber of a match. But you did. Are you just foolish, or did you have a plan? And if so, how did it work out?
Senorita, I have been around for a long time now, and I have seen many such groups as this Graveyard. There is always one man there who leads many who are weak of will and of almost zero talent. And every time I see this group, in whatever form it is, there is always one thing that quickly turns this group around. The moment that the leader no longer has the support of those underneath him, this group always disappears, and the leader does as well. And I have always seen in the same time, until that leader disappears, he is a problem for all who wrestle against him, who wrestle near him. So I have determined that I must do something about those who work for the Reaper. That is why I have decided that the Graveyard is indeed the most important thing here. While I was unfortunate to indeed miss out on the Journeyman's Cup, I must prevent Scythe and the Reaper from obtaining such a thing. The power it holds, the power it would give them, is too great. While it is great that there are those who stand up against the Graveyard, such as Professor Atomo and his nerds, the Professor must return to La Escuela, go back to his teaching. He is no longer the man who is needed for this task. That is why I am here. That is why I am taking the fight to this Graveyard. Now, if you'll excuse me, Senorita.
Wait. One more question. Are you trying to say that you see yourself possibly as the professor's heir, as the one who could carry on his teachings here in Worldwide Wrestling?
The Professor, he is a man of science. His style is his own. His heir must be of his style. I am not that man. I have a very different style. My style is one of justice. Those who do not stand upright, those who seek out to destroy, must be returned. And that is what I do now. Buenas noches.
Thank you for your time. Cool. Totally cutting a promo there. Let's see how well you do this time.
Probably the same as last time. What'd I get? I can't see it.
You got a 9.
I got 7! Yay!
Yes, down to a 7. Success!
Hooray!
Congratulations. So this is on your way out to this match that was already announced with Joey Crack, but you didn't really talk about him, so I don't know if adding a stipulation would make sense. Your other options are getting them.
I'm just going to steal from the professor's playbook and have a momentum.
Just go ahead and take momentum. I think that makes sense for you. Cool. So you head out to the rig.
I'm feeling what I'm dishing.
Mm-hmm. And you head out to the ring, and I think you enter first. What does your entrance look like again? I forgot.
It's the dimming of the lights with the pan down into the desert with a scorpion, who when he stings out, it cuts down to the Latin rap music, and I come out.
Right on. Cool. So you head on down to the ring with your Latin rap music playing, and a noticeable crowd response. You connected with them in your. What's that? Okay.
I think that was just an echo.
Okay, sorry. Cool. So I was just saying, your promo did connect. So you do have some crowd response, some cheers. There are, because everyone has some crazy fans, right? So there is someone who's done like the sign with the little scorpion tail that's like on a little hinge, so it can go back and forth. One of those is seen in the audience. It's good. And then I think we go straight to Joey Crack's entrance, which remind us again how that looks, Joe.
So it's super light showy with my music, and I normally come dancing out, but now right now I'm coming out subdued, and I'm pushing a wheelchair down the ramp as I walk around the ring and put it right next to the announcer's table, and then I pull out a little name tag that says reserved for Professor Atamo right on it. And it's and then I get on. I'm gonna grab the microphone, obviously. Atamo, seeing as you're so desperate to finally retire against me, I've already got a match, and well, you're probably going to be after that. So why don't you come down and see how the new breed wrestles, how science has evolved since the good old days of yore.
You called him down.
I call him. Yeah, are you gonna come out?
The professor's gonna come out, and underneath his good arm, he actually has a book. He's got his pipe too, and he comes down and he sets the book down, and he's like, "You think you have something to show me at last, Crack? Very well. The Scorpion's a new breed also. Haven't really seen him in action. I'll grade both of you, and we'll see which one of you approaches worthiness."
Okay.
I'm actually kind of scared to be graded by the professor.
So,
the book, or do you also have like a big whiteboard coming out, like the nerds are pulling?
We could have the nerds bring out a whiteboard for him to make notes, and he's got the red marker ready.
No. Classic green chalkboard.
Ah, classic green, yes.
Yes. Yeah. Professor doesn't hold with this newfangled dry erase bullshit. It's all chalk for him.
Forget that noise.
Yeah. Which is good, because it means that there's erasers full of chalk at ringside. Just saying. Just saying. Awesome. So you come down. Comes down. We have our two competitors in the ring, and just before the bell rings.
Well, do I make my cut a promo?
Oh yeah, you could. Yeah, cut your promo. Sorry.
Hopefully this goes well for me, but yeah, that goes well for me. So.
Oh yeah.
That's a 14. Sorry. All right, Professor.
Ouch.
And after our match, let's add a little something extra, to yours and mine match. When I beat you, you and all your nerds have to wear crackhead shirts for the next month.
Fair enough, Joey Crack. If you can still walk when the Escorpion is done with you, presuming you survive into our match,
I get a moment.
and if, by some miscarriage of justice, I actually lose to you, we'll do that. However, I believe it's about time you put something on the line as well. Your spot in the Journeyman's Cup. I believe that's a fair wager. Also, I'm using my babyface move.
Yeah, this is totally your babyface.
My
Your time to do
momentum
that.
to put it up there.
Yeah, make it happen.
All right. And actually, at that, I'm just going to look over and go, ring the bell!
All right, so you go
All right,
over, you
so-
yell and ring the bell, and then right before the bell rings, there's another. There's a burst of kind of high tempo, like, pretty modern, like dance kind of electronica, but not super cheesy, like actually pretty good for wrestling music. And there's this kind of spray of light effect on the Titantron. This is the entrance for Sarah Aurora, the other Journeyman's Cup tournament contender. And she enters. She's not in her wrestling gear. She has kind of a lucha-ish inspired, kind of gear, but she does have a purple and silver mask, which is her usual, wrestling mask.
But no genie pants like Escorpion.
No genie pants. She's actually just wearing like jeans and like her own shirt. No big crazy street clothes for her. But she comes up and she has a mic. He's like, okay. Before this all gets started, I just want to make sure that you all know that that whoever advances in the tournament is going to have to end up facing me. So I'm here to go ahead and make sure that I get a chance to scout all of you, because fair is fair. You're all able to go back and watch my tape. I beat Meg American. I beat all those other jabrones back at the beginning of the tournament. No one could stand up to my style and my flair. And none of you can either. And I'm frankly getting bored waiting for you boys to settle this. So if we could go ahead and, as the professor said, ring that bell. I'm going to take a seat over here and see what y'all can do.
All right. So I'm going to take my jacket off and reveal my Bears jersey underneath.
At which point, I'm going to go ahead and hammer hit fist him in the back of the head.
To get my cheap heat on.
Yeah, your cheap heat, yeah. Boo! Yeah, so it's like ding, 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 boo, wham.
Totally.
Awesome. So
Roll your cheap
I think
heat
we'll go
first.
ahead and...
Cheap heat you don't roll. So.
No, you just gain the momentum.
Yeah.
So
I think you've got narrative control because you're attacking.
Yeah, so we'll just go with the flow. I think, Peter, you have narrative control for Scorpion. Professor, you are our
Guest
announcer
commentator.
for the match. Guest commentator.
And you have a goal in mind with grading us as you go ahead and announce. How crazy is that?
You can go ahead and let us know how your grading goes. But yeah, so Peter, it's you. You club him in the back of the head, and then on to...
Well, after the clubbing in
next.
the back of the head, I would assume he's, face first into the turnbuckle. That sound good? That sounds good.
Mm-hmm, sure.
I think that calls for just, a quick and easy suplex from out of the corner. Just clear him out and put him on the ground. Roll through and get a leg and start twisting it after that.
So you do the quick suplex into working the leg. Is that is working the leg the big thing, or are you going to turn that into like a submission or something?
I'm going to have that be the moment where he has a chance to take control. Yeah.
So definitely rolling plus work for that.
You got a +1 on that for a
see it.
9.
Yep.
Bring momentum.
I thought you were using the technician playbook.
I am, but I should only have a +1 in my work to start off with, and I grabbed a power and a reel from my stuff.
Okay.
So I'm actually kind of
balanced out his
balanced
stats instead of specializing.
Oh.
I know.
I know. What's crazy about that? I know I'm not, like Reaper with a +3 power and all that crazy stuff.
Like I say, one-trick pony, but it's a good trick.
It's a really good trick. But speaking about tricks, I think I'm going to steal Professor Atomo's and just grab a momentum and give control to Joey Crack.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
All right, so
Well,
he's
Yeah, you're working over the leg, as I manage to get roll up and get my other leg and kick you back, rolling up to my feet, obviously favoring the leg because you worked it over really good, and I think I come charging at you like to Irish whip you into the ropes, and I think let's go and do the universal. Like the classic, the duck down, the leapfrog, hip toss, reversal, arm drag. I think I'm trying to go for the roll plus work, or no, was it? Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be plus
actually,
work,
it'd be
I
roll
think.
plus heat, right?
Well, yeah, are you working with him to do like a really
Yeah.
tight
So it'll be a
This
0.
sounds like a heat thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, this sounds like a heat because we're just working each other at the moment.
Yeah, we're trying to
Yeah.
put on a good show. So.
So
All right.
note for viewers. Apparently, the universal is a term for the very standard opening sequence to many matches, which I just found out a link to today, and I think we all may be referencing.
Yeah.
Which is just like the lock up into the headlock, into pushing the guy in the headlock into the ropes, into some kind of leapfrog,
Arm drag, shoulder tackle,
arm drag, hip toss sequence.
Yeah.
Not being wrestlers, I had no idea that entire thing kind of had a name. So that's the universal.
I knew it was a thing, but I didn't know the name of it before today.
Yeah.
So we're all learning something.
Yeah.
Learning something today.
It's a trope. So,
Anyway, so you roll plus heat,
plus
which is 0, right?
Yep.
Apparently, we've all taken a course in Professor Atomo's classes and gotten some wrestling science going on.
All right, so that's a 9. I'm gonna spend a momentum to make it a 10.
Not bad.
So then I gain 2 momentum. So
Unless
one
you
up.
want to meet with Scorpion.
No, I'm going for the 2 momentum.
I'm waiting for my other match.
Yeah. He said, I have a job to do.
Yelling at Atomo's playbook is what we're doing.
Yeah, like we're both skilled technical wrestlers, and we're trying to put on a good show. But I'm willing to just give narrative control back over to you.
Okay.
It's often said
Atamo.
that I'm doing my commentary. It's often said that wrestling is a conversation, a discourse executed through violence. And that violence has to be carefully managed, controlled, pointed at your opponent. So, together, you have a discussion that is worth having. What I've seen here so far, it's the basic greetings. It's the hello. It's the oh, it seems Crack actually was paying attention that time after all. I'm afraid Escorpion may have already met his match. He may be at the end already.
Ooh, so I've got an idea to give narrative control back over, and so I
you
just
never lost actually when you rolled got yourself a 10.
yeah, but sometimes
He's handing it off voluntarily.
I don't like to hog it too much, but here's the way I'm gonna do. I'm gonna back up and just sort of play to the crowd, and then point directly at Atamo, and then whichever arm is probably the left arm that gets worked over, and then just hold that behind my back. I'm now I'm wrestling just like he is.
Are you working? Sounds like you're working the audience.
I guess I'm working the crowd.
No,
Getting him a
scratch that.
little,
He's still a boob.
All right, so roll plus audience.
Roll plus audience.
That's a +3. So 4 and 3, 7. That's a 10.
Nice. You get them on your side. Momentum all over the place.
Sweet. All right.
Yeah. So they start. So you're obviously mocking the professor. So they start like booing you, right? Like this, like, what an asshole.
Yep.
Boo.
And you want to give me narrative control right here?
Yeah, totally. Because I'm totally ignoring you right now.
Then you know what? You're playing around with your arm, so that arm's getting put into a hammer lock.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, and let's go ahead and twist down for another slam and throw on the chicken wing crossface. Yeah.
Nice.
That's a work, correct?
Yeah, I would.
Your gimmick, right?
So.
3 and 6.
I think so. My thing's over your dice. I can't. I think that's a 3 and a 6.
Well, it's very, because the resolutions. The first one's definitely a 3.
I'm gonna pop myself a momentum to go ahead and gain my heat because I like heat actually.
Oh yeah.
Gonna maintain control though right here.
Sure.
All right. So you have them. You have them in the chicken wing.
Right.
And you're getting the heat. So it's a. Are you really cranking it in?
I think what I was gonna do is I was gonna have it going, and then like he's gonna crawl towards the rope, reach out the hand, and get like real close to the ropes. When I break it off, grab him by the leg, pull him back, and then put him into a half crab.
Oh man, so you're just going back and forth, working both ends.
Oh yeah, exactly like I said. I'm just gonna punch him and punch him and punch him. Get him in the half crab for a little bit, make it look real strong, like he's really working in there, being a good guy and making sure he's not actually get tapped before he reverses it, gets me out, and I give him narrative control.
All right, cool. So yeah, I'm shaky, I'm like wobbling, my arms, I'm selling up all the damage that you've been doing as I back up. But then I call for the lockup, and then I just do the quick knee lift because I'm a classic jerk, and then as you're bent over, I'm just gonna put your head in the headlock, the front face, like the DDT setup as I pull the arm over. I'm gonna try and just go into a series of snap suplexes, rolling snap suplexes, Eddie Guerrero style. And then I'm gonna set you up for one of my signature maneuvers. It's gonna be what was it? The straight and narrow. Yeah, I'm gonna try to whip you off the ropes and catch you up in the old-fashioned D'Lo Brown sit down power, or what was it, power? Yeah, I guess the sit down power slam. Mm-hmm. Or no, the sit down spine buster. That's what it was.
Spine buster. Yeah.
So,
nice. So the crowd, with every suplex, they're going ooh, ooh, right? Because we're in the age of the suplex being the most deadly part of a wrestler's arsenal.
Yeah.
Cool. Rolling through. So is this one of your signature things plays off of your look and your gimmick, right? Or is this more of a...
It's one of my signature moves, so yeah, it's one of my setup things.
Yeah, so it sounds like it's plus look for you.
Alright. 7, 8, 9.
This grandstanding is an existing character for Joey Crack. It's just like any interaction with him. They're big, they're showy, they're over the top. Underlying weakness is hiding there. If only Escorpion can find it.
I'm gonna, give him control and take the momentum.
All right. So you're gonna spend 1 to take 2.
No, I was just I'm just keeping the 9.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Yeah, just gain the momentum. I'm with you. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I could.
I was reading the wrong thing.
But yeah, I just want to do the back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm liking this going back and forth, and I'm really liking the idea of Joey grandstanding. And after he lays down his signature move, he pops up and starts showboating the crowd, getting them to
Yeah, do you do like the cocky, like the one, like one arm pin, and then you just like
No, I do the Chris Jericho 1 foot.
oh, awesome.
Wait, 1 foot on El Scorpio at the time?
Yeah, 1 foot on your chest.
Okay.
I'm totally setting you up
We
for
know
it.
exactly where this is going now. Because, yep, just grab the ankle, twist, and bam, right back on the ground.
Hmm.
Throwing you right back into another ankle lock. This time I'm going to spice it up a little bit. Going to tuck the ankle lock up into a combination ankle lock, half crab, and chicken wing. Because, hey, why not?
Whoa! Are you reaching behind you for the face to get his face?
That'd be a crossface. I'm going just the straight chicken wing, just pulling it up and then tucking it back into his shoulder.
Oh, okay, okay.
You know, like the arm wrench.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. So you got
the
like 4 joints all going at once right now. Just
Right.
really.
Well, that is certainly a display of technical skill.
I will tell
I mean,
you,
it might be fun. It
I'm
might
just
require
enough of a
I don't know.
fan. I'm just enough of a fan to have some idea what that looks like, but you might want to explain it for the viewing audience at home.
Oh, okay. Explaining for the viewing audience. Ankle lock. That's where I grab his foot and twist his ankle so it's turned more than 90 degrees off to the side. A Boston half crab is where he's on his stomach, and I grab one leg, tuck it under my arm, and then roll it backwards so it's I'm putting pressure on his hip and bending his knee over behind him. And a cross wing and a chicken wing is when I have, like I said, I have him by the wrist, I have him pulled back and bending back so his fist is up against the back of his shoulder. And all of that combined in one move. So kind of like underneath my right arm is his left leg. The leg, the ankle twisted so it's sitting off the side.
Let's see.
And look, some more. There we go. There's the half crab.
Kind of like that, but you're
That's a full
also
crab.
getting his arm in there.
Yeah, and by doing a half crab, I let go of the other leg, so I have the other
Right.
arm available to wrench his arm.
Awesome. So is that your role for that?
That was my roll for that. Another 8.
Oh, that's a 6.
Yeah, the block is a 6.
Okay. For a second, I thought it was a 1. I was like, oh.
Or it could be a 5. It's hard to tell.
So
It
you're
is a
looking,
6, a 2. So I haven't. That's an 8 plus my work is a 9. I'm thinking if I want to, gain more heat because I think that it's kind of fun.
Yeah, he's good.
It's up to you.
So I think I
The
will.
momentum to spend.
Yeah.
Right. I think I'm going
Or
to keep
Atomo
control
could
for
put you over.
the moment.
I don't know how much momentum you have, but I'm pretty sure if you're sitting at a 9, you want to spend the 1.
I did. It was.
Alright.
That's what I did. I had to bump myself up to 10 to get the heat.
Gotcha.
That's what I did. That's why I spent the.
They're building heat with.
The other dice roll plus 1 for my work, 1
Yep.
momentum 10.
Great.
Yep.
Okay, so you have him in this crazy. You have like 3 of his limbs all pinned basically, and it's not looking good for Joey Crack
I'm
in
going to
this
call this
moment.
a new signature move. I got to remember this one.
And that is when we're going to go into the finish for this match, which is the lights black out suddenly, and there's a puff of signature graveyard fog from underneath the ring that kind of comes up and wraps around the ring, and then when it clears, we have a situation where Joey Crack is clearly able to easily pin Escorpion, but I'll leave the details of what that looks like to you. But something in the darkness happens. There's there's a sound of a thump, and the ring bounces, and then the lights come back on, and the fog's drifting away, and we see Escorpion.
I want to go sweet and simple with this one. Just have Joey Crack in the corner looking all dazed and confused, like, what the hell just happened? And El Scorpion is laying diagonally across the ring, legs perfectly straight, arms crossed, just like he's laying down in the casket.
Well, he's giving the bone salute over his chest.
While he on his unconscious body. Yep, he
Yes.
totally casted it up.
And the ref is like looking around, and then he looks or he's looking around like and trying to look under the ring and stuff, so he can't see that you're like unconscious behind him, right? And then what do you do, Joey?
All right, so I want to kind of like rub some, I want to rub Professor Atamo's face in this victory, and I want to like pick him up and set him up for the Atamo bomb.
Oh, okay.
As the finish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you are. This is the booking for you to win the match, so you will roll for your finisher.
Okay.
Though you are doing a mocking Professor Atamo finisher. Yeah. But as you get him up into the position, that's when the ref turns around, and then he comes over, and he didn't see that he was unconscious, right? So that's when the ref comes over to start doing the 5 count for you to bomb him out of the corner or whatever.
Yeah. So I'm like
Atomo was literally he was drawing a bar graph, and he had just put a Scorpion like way at the top for this crazy complex maneuver when the lights went out, and then it's like
Alright, so fingers crossed. Come on.
Could I actually make a recommendation for this one as a kind of a weird change to the finisher roll? You don't normally roll plus heat on your finisher, right?
You don't roll any.
Right.
You don't roll plus anything.
Right. I think this one calls for plus heat versus Atamo because he's stealing the finisher.
I don't. I think it's fine. I think that is maybe a special move if someone wanted to make where they could add heat to their thing when they steal someone's finisher.
Yeah, that'd be a good custom move.
In this,
that'd be a great way to base around a whole gimmick, actually.
Yeah,
I'm totally making a custom move based on that.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Move thief.
Yeah, that would be good.
So
yeah, I'm gonna hold tight to my no stat on the finisher rule because I wrote the game so I can, and I think it's important.
Alright, so I'm gonna spend the 2 momentum to make that a 10, unless the announcer wants to bump me up.
He's stealing your move, Atamo. Are you going to play this up?
I think there's a part of me that mathematically wants you to actually have to spend it, but you did bump me up last match, and by God, Atamo's a face. So he's just going to be like, No! You cannot cheat in this type! No!
And then
Lights off in the audience.
Pipe in. So, Professor, how would you say he executed that Atamo bomb? What's the scientific method there?
I would say it was a passing grade.
Alright, so
awesome. Alright, so you hit that with a 10.
So I go up to 4.
Alright, so you go up to 4, you bump Professor Atamo out of the top spot, back down to 3 audience.
I get to make an advance. Game 1 audience, right? That's it, right?
Yeah, unless you had 4 heat, but you don't, so...
No. Well, you keep
no, but I was really trying right there. I really was.
I know.
Yeah, well...
Good, I appreciated it.
So I'm totally going to end up creating the custom move thief.
That's actually a totally awesome move.
I just don't know what the mechanics of it will be.
Yeah, we'll work out the mechanics. We'll like do that between sessions.
Awesome. Yeah,
that's a great idea. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. You get the win off the Atomo bomb.
I'll do a classic scientific pin, like both leg pinned up, the other leg stretched out, both arms covered.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Staring right at Professor.
Fantastic. So they count it. The ref comes over and raises your hand.
Oh my arm.
And they actually have like trainers come out to get Escorpion because he's unconscious. And as they're doing that, there's just like a silhouette of like the looming figure of Reaper with side by his side, like backlit in the entrance ramp, and then they disappear before anyone else gets up there. Nice. And I think our live feed goes to commercial, and we'll take a 5-minute break. I'm going to get some water, and we will come back to our main event.
Sounds like some wrestling science right there.
Word.
Awesome. Cool. So we'll be back in 5.
Mm-hmm.
I am back. For reference of viewers, or for future reference, here's a better picture of the Boston crab that I was trying to show. This is really good radio, I'm sure.
So yeah, I think like the move thief might work pretty similar to the excellence of execution.
And there's some chicken wing crossface action. What? Yeah, I think the move thief would be like, I think it's specifically for finishing moves, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It would be
Roll
when
plus
you
heat, whoever's
yeah,
finished.
when you steal someone's finishing move, or when you execute another wrestler's finishing move,
Yeah.
roll your finishing move plus your heat with them.
Yeah. Seems good.
I think maybe in their presence, because I think it really only matters if they're around, right?
Well, I mean, if they're in the episode, I would say.
Yeah.
Because like they could be watching Backstage,
Hmm.
That's one of the things that always like, don't these wrestlers watch the show that they're on and know the like
As opposed to tell the camera about all the secret plans that they just made.
yeah. Or don't they watch matches of their enemies?
Yeah. No, only if they're standing really close to the monitor, but at a weird angle.
Mm-hmm.
And mhm.
They're like,
Yeah, they're never like sitting on a couch, like watching the TV across the room.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it would just be roll plus. Yeah, when you execute another wrestler's finisher as your own, roll your finishing move plus
Yep.
your heat with them.
So Chris Jericho.
There was that one playbook that we were critiquing, the Alter Ego, I think included a move that did that, which was steal someone else's gimmick or something.
Yeah, I think it wasn't specifically about the finishing move.
Yeah, no, I don't think it was a finishing move, but I remember it being there. So
Yeah, maybe we could look at that. But I think that's a pretty simple,
Yeah.
clear.
mechanic.
And
Okay.
plus, I didn't want to use my finisher because it's a submission hold, and I didn't want to make the technician tap.
You didn't want to make his unconscious body. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, you could have just like held him down, right? Like that was the other direction to go. Like you could have just draped
Well,
yourself
plus
over
it's
him and
just
gotten
like
away.
build the animosity between me and.
Oh yeah,
Atamo.
no, I think that was great. That was a great idea.
Like, I was expecting you to try and cheat, at which point I'd do a run-in, but since you didn't technically cheat, like, I was going to have a big F, because you're not allowed to cheat on the test, and I was like, oh!
You got
Don't
swerved.
look at the answers.
Got swerved.
No,
So,
but
in other
it's gonna be
news,
crazy match between me and Atamo.
I know.
Welcome
it's
back
good.
to me.
Yeah.
While we're waiting, you're back, yay. Well, real quick, as we're waiting for Peter, even though he just came back, one other little thing to show off is I did get the posters in that have gone out to backers. So
Nice.
it's a couple little.
All of the anti-heroes you weren't expecting.
All of the everyone wanted the anti-hero, so a couple, like
The-
two people, have to wait.
The
for
art's
to get
great
more in.
and the quote's the best. One of the best quotes.
The quote's really good, but this is the Peter Memorial poster.
Technician poster. I love it.
Yeah,
I gave you such a hard time about that.
I know.
Yeah.
And then
But like,
the,
I love the Golden Boy quote, and the art's really
Yeah.
good, but the anti-hero art's so great.
yeah, the anti-hero just came out really nice. So I was a little surprised just because I was like, I expected a slightly more even distribution, and the anti-hero was like the favorite by far. I was like, oh, all right. Followed by the veteran, actually. So,
Hooray.
which is actually a really good piece of art too. His little bleeding
That
head.
means more technician and monster posters for me.
That's true. And the posters also a little sales thing on the reverse side feature the cover art in all its glory. So if anyone wants to pick these up, they're in my web store. They're available for sale. Also, as package deals if you want more than one. I think I'm probably going to lower the price so that they're $10 including shipping as opposed to $10 plus shipping because that's a little much. But yeah, so Journeyman's Cup episode exclusive. Those are some news for you.
Hey, Joe.
All right.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna. Joe, did you actually write the copy that I read earlier, or did Nathan write that?
Oh, yeah, I wrote that.
Yeah, I thought so.
I think I edited it down by like a sentence.
Probably. Yeah, but like I just remember like, I don't have a thing. Oh, we're allowed to write more than just our moves? Okay.
Yeah, you actually
It
sent
was-
me a couple extra things after the first preview.
Yeah, I was like, I don't see my guy anywhere. I'm like, oh, I think I need to write stuff.
Yeah.
I'm all bummed
No,
that Atomo's not in there. I was like, well, I
Sorry.
didn't move fast enough.
Yeah. There's only so there are only so many slots I could kind of keep. I mean, this because there ended up being 20.
Yeah.
Plus
So
the higher
remember,
level
originally
ones.
it was 10, then you bumped it up.
Yeah.
I added it because it went so quick, and which
Yeah.
is awesome. And
Which is
everyone
great,
who
yeah.
contributed to the Kickstarter at the $65 or more level, you're awesome, and that's why all of your wrestlers are in the book. But also, it's kind of like that was right about the capacity of what I could organizationally manage.
Yeah.
So
I just remember,
I have a TV2 book to look forward to.
remember you announced the Kickstarter, and then like within an hour, Tim's like, "Boom, funded," and you're like, "You monster!"
yeah, I
Just
know.
right away at the top level.
I know he sniped the belt, but I'm getting him back by making him wait to be the last person to receive their reward because I still need to order the belt. But it'll happen. But that's my revenge. Okay, let's get back to this. Cool. So I think this just rolls right into the main event, which is Joey Crack having to do his back-to-back matches. So while Scorpion has been carried off to backstage, Peter, clearly you will be the announcer for this match.
Just have to think
I
of
don't know if you're
I don't
going
want
to
to
do
do
with
Alan again.
okay, with your Lord Alfred Hayes, a Jace announcer, which I've been appreciating.
You really want me to do Alan III again? I
No,
can't.
you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
I finally like keyed into like that's what you're reminding me of. Like it took me an entire episode.
Lord Alfred Hayes.
Yeah,
Okay,
except the
so-
Emotional consideration.
that last bit and that last match.
So
A passing.
oh wait.
That was so good.
Yeah, no, sorry, I got nothing. I thought I had a thing, but then it disappeared. So we'll just roll into this match. Joey Crack is still standing in the ring, and the ring announcer goes, well, ladies and gentlemen, now your main event of the evening. Professor Atomo has requested and been granted a match with Joey Crack, which is to occur at this time. And he, one fall to a finish. On the line, as stipulated, is if Joey Crack wins, Professor Atomo and all of the nerds will have to wear official, is it Crack House or just Joey Crack?
Crackhead.
Crackhead. That's your official WWW licensed Crackhead t-shirts for a period of 30 days from the date of this match, which are available at concessions right now. And if Professor Atomo wins, then he will reclaim a Journeyman Cup tournament spot from Joey Crack. Then he backs out of the ring to make way for Atamo to enter.
We gave time for him to take off his jacket and everything.
Yep.
And what's
Glasses.
the luchador's name on the outside?
Oh, Sarah Aurora. She's like, so, the camera goes back to her, and she's just like, just looking at you, Joey. Just like,
And then I just brush off a tongue.
I think he's disappointed you didn't cheat.
I think before he goes in, he has to take the mic and try and work the audience.
mm-hmm.
So, all right, Crack. As I said, a passing grade. But I believe it's time for you to return to, as Escorpion said, la escuela. It's time for you to come back to the school that you left. You left in shame. We'll see if you're ready for your final lessons. For wrestling science! Science.
Science.
Get everyone cheering for science. I love
do
wrestling
they?
science. So that's me working the audience.
Yep.
And
they do. They cheer for science because you still have 3, right? 3
yep.
audience.
So that'll give me 2 more momentum.
You guys are momentum machines.
Well, also, I'm going to get another 2 because I'm going into another match I could back out of, and I'm still injured.
That's
And I'm
true.
still the veteran.
Jesus.
I'm just waiting for you to botch something. Just waiting.
All right.
Bought something with double 1. Still get plus
Yeah.
10 result.
That's true. I need you to botch twice. That's what I need you to do. And
All
not,
right, so
and not.
I guess I need to work the audience right back at you. I got all these nerds in the audience. I got to go out and just rip out their pocket protectors, break their glasses. It's just
start going at it.
So yeah.
So you start abusing the nerd fans that are right in the front row.
Oh,
Those
totally.
special front row seats.
Yeah, totally.
I think after you make your roll there, the professor manhandles you into the ring, though.
Oh, of course. But
Roll
let's see. 6 plus 2 is 8 plus 4. So.
Yep.
All right.
Everything's going according to plan. So far. Yeah.
Amounts of momentum.
Crying. So, other nerds come over and start trying to form a human nerd wall between you and the fans. So you can
And then Professor, go for it, Atamo.
Yeah, and then Atomo grabs you and throws you in the ring, and they ring the bell.
There's no room in wrestling for bullies like you.
I learned it from watching you, Atamo.
Wrestlers who break kayfabe have proteges who break kayfabe.
the PSA at the end of the show.
The obnoxious pop culture reference is what I'm thinking.
Right. All right. So you get him in the ring. What do you do to this?
This young
poor
upstart.
excuse for a wrestling scientist.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you what I do. I have this website bookmarked that my good friends Nathan Pauletta and Jason Morningstar put together, where it gives me a random wrestling move. So I'm going to tell it to go ahead and give me one. And it says, it's a big boot leading into an emerald flosion, following by a crushing wrist lock. I'm not entirely sure what that is, but by God, I'm doing it.
Sounds good to me.
It sounds dangerous and awesome.
Emerald Fusion.
I totally see Professor Atomo doing a big boot, though.
Yep.
Every so often, just busting it out.
He throws you in, and then you're standing up expecting the complex or the universal moves, and it's just like, boot!
Boot to the face.
So yeah.
And flop around like a seizure.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're going to go for that the rough and brutal beginning into the complex collection of moves there, ending in a wrist lock. So trying to get you to tap out early.
Considering the pain he just went through with a Scorpion, this is a wise move the professor is doing, giving him back on the mat and into those punishing submission moves.
And so that comes up at his 7. With my +2, that's a 9. I'm going to go ahead and spend the 1 to get it up to a 10. And I'm
would make sense.
going to actually take the heat on that one, so it's going to cost me momentum. But the fact is I still don't have much heat with Joey, and I feel like this particular night they've been building it.
Yeah, we gotta get heat.
That gets me up to a 2 with him. I've still got control of the match, though. Because that's cool. And
So I'm going to go ahead and retcon a thing. And so Sarah Aurora actually went on to commentary, during this transition thing. So, you have him this wrist lock. And what's your announcer's name there, Peter?
Allen the Third.
Okay. And she's like, you see, Alan, the problem with these mat wrestlers is they're always working these joints. They're always, they always have this complex plan. But what none of them understand is that heart and passion get you way farther in a wrestling ring than technical knowledge and skill. I hate to say it, but that's just how it is. And that's how I wrestle, and that's how I know that these guys don't have a chance against me for the Journeyman's Cup.
If you ever actually attended one of the professor's classes there, Miss Aurora, you would know that heart and passion is the core of wrestling science. You cannot be good in the ring without being good in yourself first.
All right, back to the ring.
I think I'm going to have to try and remember that one. So try to get him in the lock, but actually Joey powers out and gets over to the
technical.
yeah, he powers out and gets over the quarter, and they're looking at each other for a second, and then they run at each other, and Professor's coming in for a shoulder, and Joey actually goes up and over him. So then they're in opposite quarters. They turn around and go back again, and Joey tries to do it again, ends up jumping right into the Professor's side slam. So it catches him in the air and then brings him down hard to the mat.
Nice.
And oh, someone got a little fuzzy there. All right, so I got a 5 with my +2. That's a 7, and I think I'll keep it on that because I want him to have a chance to respond in kind. So I'll take the momentum, and off you go.
All right, so yeah, as I just got slammed down, and as like what I see is, all right, so like I'm gonna like, roll over to the ropes and use them to like pull myself back up. Then like obviously I think you're just like come on, and I'm like, all right, and like I'm calling for the test of strength, and then I'm like clearly losing, so that's why I just do the classic kick and then just like quick kick to the midsection, suplex you over. Then what I'm gonna do is like drop the elbow, get up and do it again, and then I'm like gonna go over to climb to the top rope and like do the classic Randy Savage call for it. As I'm gonna drop the elbow down, get all high risk.
High risk, possibly a high reward.
Yep.
Awesome. So it sounds like this is a look thing for you.
All right.
Again with the
Screaming on the
acrobatics.
top rope. Yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm the master of all wrestling. Oh. Well, that's
I don't believe
this.
This is too many weeks in a row where people have been leaving their feet. This is not wrestling, people.
You're not going to put him over on this one, are you? Huh?
All right.
Oh, he had to burn that momentum.
5.
Sorry.
I'll spend the 2 just to get the 7. Because I don't want to botch.
Just because you can go to the top rope doesn't mean that you can, dazzle the audience with your, with your abilities.
Yep.
Joe, there's not a single wrestler in this company that
wait.
Joey Crack isn't a skilled wrestler. He can do anything, and I respect that a lot. But just climbing up that top turnbuckle, that's when Joey Crack comes up to the Aurora zone.
So I think I'm just gonna retain control to just do another little sequence of events.
You're indeed correct, Aurora. This is where Joey needs to gather himself back, focus again, and go back to school. He is a jack of all trades and master of none. He can do many things, but he does not excel. He must excel at wrestling. It must be you, and it is not Joey. He steals, he takes, he is not actually it.
Alright, so yeah, I'm like rubbing my elbow because it stings as I like grab him by the head, pull him up back to his feet, like do a couple chops in the corner, but then I see him like just powering out and like coming at me, and then I'll just drop to my knees and quick fireman's carry him. Bringing some actual wrestling into this.
Right.
Let's get scientifical. A fireman's carry into a headlock as he then into a standing headlock. And then
a little
I'm
bit of chain reversal kind of mat work.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
some chain wrestling, and then I'm just gonna try to like Russian leg sweep him back into the corner. Like try to like drop his head and neck back into the corner.
All right. Is that the big thing? This is kind of taking him out, like.
I think it's a dangerous maneuver, so.
Ah.
So it's probably well, is it? I don't know. What do you think it is? I don't think it's power.
It just sounds like work.
I think it's just work.
Okay, so
Unless you're trying to really hurt him.
Work is 0.
Yeah, with all the chain wrestling and everything.
No, I'm an employee. I'm not trying to hurt him.
Yeah, the worst that could be is work real stiff.
Yeah.
So that's an 8, and I'll just leave it at that, and then give him control and gain him the 1 momentum.
All right. So you snapped him into the corner, right?
Yeah, like I grabbed you like and stood next to you, and then like I tripped you backwards to drop slam your head in the middle turnbuckle.
Yep. You big jerk. All right. So I think what happens next is that you do the cocky thing like you do.
Oh, totally.
And then you turn around, he's still in there, so you run at him, and he does the last-minute dodge out of the way, so you get the turnbuckle to the chest.
Yep.
And then as you stumble backwards, I'm not going to remember the name of the move, because all I can think of is stutter. He's going to grab you, I think it's reverse DDT or something. He grabs you by the head and then does the drop down to the mat.
Yeah, the diamond cutter.
Yep. That's the one.
Cutter or jawbreaker of some kind.
Yep. And slam you down hard again. Because the more times he can have you impact the mat, the less he's actually putting stress on his own arm.
Here in World of Wrestling, we refer to that as an ace cutter. Let's just go ahead and get that
Works
clear.
for me.
The throwback to the Invader, Johnny Ace. Anyway, yeah, big ace cutter out of the corner.
All right. Didn't roll real well, but with a +2, I still end up with a 7. I'm actually gonna, I think, transition again on that. But can I have some commentary from Aurora?
Oh yeah, sure. So you hit him with the cutter, and the camera comes back over, and she can't not. She has like a visceral reaction just because it's such a big pop kind of move, and there's a big pop when you do it. Like the audience don't see it a lot from they don't see it a lot from you. And so she's like, ooh, I mean, I'm not trying to take anything away from Professor Atomo either. He's been around for a long time. Some would say a little too long, perhaps, but no one denies that his strength and his speed are as impressive as ever. He's just, earlier, Joe Crack and Escorpion were talking about a new breed, and I'm part of that new breed too. It's our fire and our energy that brings us up to the top. Not the simple obsession with physics. I transcend physics. That's what I do.
So as Joey is getting up to his feet, the professor's back further, and he's down and he's doing the taunt thing, and Joey comes running at him, and the professor sidesteps and throws him airborne because he doesn't like it when people talk crap about wrestling science. And he's throwing Joey at Aurora.
Nice. All right, so this is either a feat of strength or plus heat to work together to make it come
I did
off.
it with heat when I did it with Blind Man. I would do it again in this case.
Yeah,
I would totally be working with him.
Yeah, unless Joey is flying back here.
Yep.
Oh,
All right.
Steve rolled badly on this one, actually.
No, I rolled a 10, plus our 2 heat is a 12.
You guys are.
But you can feel free to put it over anyway.
I was totally going to put it over, and that's why I wanted to roll badly.
Well, you
Hey,
can
just
still
talk
put
it
it
up.
over. I mean, this is
Still-
the mechanical.
Still
note.
put this one over, because this is the move of the match, I think. Aurora,
Oh,
you have no right to be speaking. One moment, Aurora. Excuse me, can you stand right here, please? Bye.
You position her. She's like, okay. She sits over in the chair.
The wheelchair.
No, she's not in the wheelchair. She's in a rolly chair at the aftercare. Okay, so yeah, so Craig was flying through the air and directly into chair goes over backwards. There's a big loud, like sound on a mic as her headset falls off. Are you getting the heat or the momentum from that, Jason?
See, I was looking at the old sheet again. I think I had put them both in. I just pulled the momentum back out. I'm going to take the heat because I want more heat with Joey. So
Yeah, no, I think that makes sense.
Yeah, that puts me up to a 3 with him.
Yeah, so there's a big like go, big crowd responds, and Sarah's just kind of like pushing out and pushing, getting out of the thing. She's not, and I think the ref, comes out of the ring and comes over to like help Joey up and kind of like keep them separated just in case. But she's not like throwing hands or anything. Like she's not brawling. That's not part of this, unless you wanted to start something.
Nope.
No.
And that, Aurora, is wrestling science. You must be aware of your surroundings at all times.
All right. So I believe that Jason still has control. Are you coming out? Are you taking us out to the floor, or are you bringing Joey back in?
I think I'm going to probably come out and bring Joey back in. At this point,
I'm going to spend a momentum to interrupt.
You jerk!
So as you like are coming out and like the ref is like trying to keep Sarah back, so the ref's back to me. I do a quick classic low blow, and just like to knock the wind right out of you. right as you're like stepping through the rings, I'll like pull the bottom rope down and just like just spring it right back up into your your manly parts, and then it's like you roll into the ring like clutching. Cursing, and obviously Allen's cursing me out. So then, I'm gonna slide into the ring and then just start like stomping on you. Just stomp, going right after that injured arm of yours. As I'm just picking you up and then like just tossing you off the ropes and hitting you with like a jumping arm breaker. And then rolling over into the Fujiwara arm bars and really wrenching it in.
Awesome. I think go ahead and make your roll for this sequence, which could be with plus heat because they're kind of really taking it to him.
Okay.
I'm down for that.
All right. Cool.
This is why you left wrestling school. You got no class.
Arm bar.
8. There's a 10.
Go back to school, Joey. You'll learn that kind of
the
behavior
Atamo.
is unwanted, and you'll be in detention for a week.
All right. So the booking here, I think this is going to go into the last sequence, and the booking here is for Joey Crack to win this match.
Boo.
So you can go ahead and work that out into that finish however you want to. If anyone wants to do anything to change that,
All right.
go ahead and tell me what you do, and we will deal with that as it comes up.
Okay. So
I don't know. I got a lot of momentum here.
It's true. You could do lots of things.
Might I make a recommendation here?
Hmm.
The nerds. There are a lot of them still out there.
There are, but I don't really want to bring them in as an interference thing for this. I mean, if I did something, I'd break kayfabe and
Right, because you could.
Myself.
I mean, your options would be you could heel turn and then use the heel move.
then we have nothing but heels.
And then or you can break kayfabe to force.
Oh, have a nerd make the save. Have him be your rescuer. Protect the D.
I've got an idea for the finish. To like.
Well, I'll tell you what. As much as I want the professor to have a shot at that Journeyman's Cup, and as much as this momentum here calls to me, I'll tell you the truth is it is for young men. It is meant to be putting you over there. So we're gonna go ahead and let you do the finisher, but then at the end of it, I think I'm gonna hit the professor's put over move. So you go ahead, you go for it,
All right.
and we'll see how it goes.
I think obviously we're gonna like do some battling back and forth, and like I'm really working over your arm and the back, and then like I set you up with the overdose, which is like it was a twist. It's like a rolling cutter, and then I'm gonna lock you in the Atamo strat. What was it? The Atamo strat.
The Atamo equation.
Yeah, the Atomo equation. To put like. Make it look like as you tap out, but like you're not gonna tap out. You're totally just gonna pass out instead. Because that's the way because that's like that's what
the professor would never tap out to his own move, but he can be overcome by the pressure in the end.
Well, he could turn it into a chokehold and submit like an illegal one.
No such thing as illegal.
I don't know. Maybe if you're bringing in the sock.
There might be.
He already
According to the
has kind
nerds
of gone dirty with the low blow. I think just the stealing the move to continue with this. Oh, I'm going to make a custom move where I steal moves.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think doing the formation is great.
Yeah.
I think the ref comes over and is like, you're like, ask him, right? And he's like, do you give up? Do you submit? And Atomo's just like, no, right? Like, never. And then he
give in to science, Atamo.
Yeah. Leverage, the power of leverage.
Got your foot up on those ropes.
Yeah, you put your foot up on the rope, right? Every time the ref's head moves down to check his shoulder.
Yeah, totally.
I know how you work. And then in the end, he does the arm raise. He does like 1, 2, and then the third one hits a mat. They ring the bell. Winner of this match by submission.
All right, well,
Joey.
9, and if we're doing the new custom move thing.
That cur! That unscrupulous dog! Joey Crack! First he steals the Atomo drop on the Escorpion, and now he takes the equation and applies it to the professor himself. It hurts too much. I cannot feel it anymore. And there's the bell. He's been defeated by his own science.
One could argue the only thing that could finally defeat Professor Atamo is his own science.
Terrible.
So.
Cool. So, how's you got a 10 one way or the other on your finisher, right?
Yeah.
So, what does that do for you?
It's just game +1 audience, but I'm at max, so.
So sad for you.
But afterwards, I'm gonna get on the microphone with the unconscious professor. What do you know, Professor? Scientifically, youth is superior to age. Right? I don't know. Math sucks.
That sucks. I win.
I'll just do just a pose on his unconscious body, just the chorus of boos.
Yeah,
I think
boos. Getting so many boos.
Oh no, I know what to do. I gotta just drape the T-shirt right over his head.
Oh yeah, because I have to wear the T-shirts. Oh no.
Terrible.
All right. Sorry, Jason. Was there something you wanted to get in there? Or was it?
I had ideas, but I'm gonna let him heal it up because
I still want the nerd to just beat me down though.
I'll be honest, Joey's had a rough couple weeks in terms of rolling and how things are going.
I know.
So I'll let Obama, I'll let Atomo take a little bit of a beating here and end up having to wear the shirts for a while. But yeah, I think the nerds are gonna probably have to come in, and Atamo's starting to stumble to wakefulness. Some of them start throwing chalk-covered erasers at him.
They pull you out and they carry you out on a blackboard.
Yep.
Your body's
the blackboard is there.
Your body's draped over the blackboard. Yeah, they carry you back up the ramp. The chorus of boos as the nerds kind of get in Joe's face to keep them from doing anything else. You're just handing them T-shirts. Someone's throwing you T-shirts from outside there, and you're just handing them to all the nerds. this chorus of boos, and that will be the end of the episode.
Let's see that put-over move.
The put-over move isn't going to matter much here because I could give myself one audience, but you're already at 4 audience.
Well, yeah, but, I mean...
You could give yourself one, and that would knock him out of the spot.
Well, actually, the only way I could is if I got a 7 to 9, then he could give me one audience and then lose one if he wanted. Or if I got a 10, we both gain one audience. I mean, I'll give it a roll because I feel like I'm taking one for the team. So, All right, here we go. Bloop. All right, so I rolled a 5. It's the last thing of the night, though, so I'll spend all 9 momentum and get a 14.
All right. Well, I mean, by a strict reading the rules, that just pops you, reverses you again, because he's already at 4. So you go to 4, he doesn't gain anything, and drops to 3.
All right. Get your butt back down there.
I'm still the most popular wrestler on the show.
That is brutal and evil, and I love it.
Yeah, but it gets me close to getting an advance again.
Yeah,
although I don't get to make the over
kidding?
move.
The way I gain audience, I'm never getting an advance.
Well,
it's hard. You really get...
You can
easy
gain...
way to get audience, easy way to get audience all involved look.
That's not the only way. The other way, frankly, is to fight against Atomo or against the jobber.
Yeah.
So if you fight against either Brainburg or Atomo, you stand a fair chance of getting audience because we have moves that do that.
Right.
Also, getting your heat...
I have to hope Brainburg's around next time.
Yeah. Or get your heat up.
Yeah. Or
I think you're doing it right, like for your character in your playbook, which is build up the heat during the matches, and then after a couple matches, then it'll start all happening at once.
And that's why I'm really sad that Matt couldn't be here to play sides, because
I know
he's already there.
You're right, but you're already hot with him, so next time it'll be easier to just pop back up.
And especially with the way we ended the match tonight.
Oh yeah,
that lovely build up to the feud.
So, would I be able to make my I Am the Future roll?
I think so. Remind me how that's phrased.
When you keep a promise or follow through on a threat you made on camera, when I promised him that he'd be wearing my shirt.
Yeah, I like it.
Alright. Roll. Well, there's a 5. I'm spending my momentum.
Yeah. No,
6, 7. So it'd be 3 momentum to get the 10. So, just so I don't get another punitive match. So I get to pick 2. I mean, I guess it'd be for the future, right? Book yourself a match with any opponent.
Next time. What are the results? I don't have your
pick 2, book yourself a match with any opponent, add a stipulation to a match, gain 2 momentum.
Oh yeah. Go ahead and like, you can bank, the match stuff for next time. The momentum doesn't help you.
Okay, I'm gonna bank the. Okay. Bank.
And just remind me next time in our pre-show chat about if you already know what you want, or you can just save them and use them during the episode.
And stip. Cool. Hold it for the future and force Atamo to tag team with me.
Nice. I know we need to. I want to do a tag match tonight, but we didn't have enough.
Yeah.
Soon.
We could be the crackheads.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. So Atamo, you got another advance. Do you want to spend that now, or are you gonna wait? Think on it.
I'll probably wait on account of how I spend it might change depending on who's playing the next time.
Okay.
So yeah.
Cool. And it means that we're on the verge of people being able to do those changing gimmicks and stuff.
I know. I caught up to Reaper.
Does Joey get his advance because he did hit 4 during the episode, or does that have to be the end of the episode? I have the playbook up.
It's during the episode.
The first time you hit 4.
Yeah, I immediately bought the move thief thing once we figured it out during the break.
Yeah, that's a great move. I am such a fan.
It totally fits me, especially in my description too.
Yeah, no, I'm still pro that move.
Yeah, and especially with how I threw you over as the jack of all trades, that just works even better.
Yep.
I am
the jackass of all trades. Oh, that should be like the heel.
That can be your tag. That can be your shirt.
There's your new nickname, Joey.
Jackass of all trades.
Yes.
Um,
The professor's the dean of wrestling science. Joey Crack is jackass of all trades.
all right, guys. I think it's time to wrap this up. That was great. Thank you so much. We will go ahead and if anyone has a quick plug or pitch for something that they're working on or want to advertise, now is the time. We'll go in the same order as the top of the show and start with Jason, if he has anything.
No, I know there's a lot of excellent games out there right now, so look them up, support them, indie games.
Cool. Joe, what's going on? Philly Gamescom?
Yep, Philly Games Con, April 17th, Friday, April 17th, Sunday, April 19th, phillygamescon.org. It's Trevose, Pennsylvania. Come on, check us out. Help support Philadelphia Gaming Convention.
Awesome. Peter, you involved with anything? Anything coming up you want to plug?
I'm looking. I know I had it. Here we go. Yes. Going to be going to MeepleCon in Las Vegas pretty soon. It's March 21st to 22nd. Going to be trying to throw some D&D 5th Edition Adventures League games together for that.
Cool. So if you're in Vegas, go check out that.
And if you're in Vegas, just come by play Adventure League game with us. Empire Games in Las Vegas.
Nice. I didn't know you were in Las Vegas. That's cool. One of my wrestling Twitter friends is in Las Vegas. That's my own connection.
I was actually in the crowd on the Raw where CM Punk dropped the pipe bomb.
Oh, really? Wow.
They muted the ever-loving bleep out of us after that.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
It was raucous.
Cool. Well, that's a great experience. Yeah, well, we can talk about it later. The game is out, Worldwide Wrestling, ndpdesign.com/WWWRPG, shipping worldwide. We've got, as I said, books. Every print purchase includes the digital bundle. The digital bundle is 2 different PDFs optimized for different screens, EPUB, Mobi, and for your e-reader, and all printable PDF stuff for your reference sheets and gimmick sheets. I got those posters. I have some shirts left over from the campaign. I have a book plus shirt bundle if you want to pick one of those up. You can see all that stuff at the website and the online store linked there. Other than that, if Matt was here, he would yell at me for not plugging my Patreon, so patreon.com/ndpaletta. I'm actually going to be working on videos, on short tutorial videos for my games, kind of like, here's the, making a wrestler for Worldwide Wrestling. Here's how moment resolution works in Annalise, my Gothic horror game. Here's how drawing your robots works in Vesmatha, whatever. That's going to be my next Patreon project. So if you want to check that out and be able to request a video or sponsor a video, you can check out my Patreon. Other than that, I think that's it for me.
Community for all the fun news that happens for WWWRPG.
Yeah, WWWRPG community on Google+. That's where the action is. We're over 200 members now, which is awesome, and it's a active conversational community, which warms my heart. And people are working on their own custom gimmicks now, which is awesome. We're kind of workshopping them in the community, and hopefully people will start playtesting those. So those are
my gimmick that I was working on, the Diva.
Yes, the Diva, which I'm a big fan of. As I want it to be the Rick Rude memorial gimmick, but it obviously will be able to apply to many different kinds of wrestlers.
There are just so many that have happened that it can apply to.
I know, it's great.
It works for everything.
That is a great
idea
for a gimmick.
Yeah, if you have an idea for a wrestler, if you want to talk about it, if you want to see what other people are working on, drop by the community. Follow me on Twitter. All the business. If you're watching this, you probably already are aware of all my things, but I get to say them anyway because it's my party, as I say. Thank you so much for watching. We had some persistent watchers, which is really awesome, and thank you. Thank you for viewing or listening to the audio, as I've started posting the audio-only ones on my website if you are more of a podcast listener and less of a video viewer. And until next time, I think we're going to sign off for Worldwide Wrestling Journeyman's Cup Tournament Episode 6. Yay! Good night, everyone.